Aloha, and welcome to VOSR International, the Voice of Shortwave Radio. I'm your host, Wavecrest Guy. This broadcast is being transmitted by WRMI, Radio Miami International, in Okeechobee, Florida, on both 9455 and 15770 kilohertz. So we're going to start out this broadcast with some announcements. First off, last week, as you may have noticed, our broadcast for Saturday, September 6th on 9455 kilohertz was not broadcast out. WRMI had some issues with their internet connection, and the way their system works, they run everything through that internet, and when they lost the connection with AT&T, it didn't go out, and so it must have some type of default or something, and some other programs were played. It didn't just affect VOSR International. It sounds like quite a few hours of programming was affected by that. But they ended up getting it fixed, and we did have our Saturday broadcast at 2300 UTC on 15770 kilohertz. That one did get broadcast. But the propagation wasn't that great for that evening, too. Some people got it in fairly strong, but others had some problems getting it. So that broadcast didn't go out too well, and the replay went out, and that one went out, of course, as scheduled. So I just wanted to keep you updated on what happened with that broadcast there. And now I want to give a reminder about our mug giveaway. We are giving out a coffee mug with the VOSR International logo, and on one side that'll have the logo with our frequencies that we broadcast on. The other side has our little mascot Mac on it with his VOSR International t-shirt, and we will be sending that out to the winner. All you have to do to enter is send us an email at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. In the subject line, put in mug giveaway. Then you can put down, please enter me. You could put your address in the body of the email, but you don't have to. When I do the drawing, I will be replying to your email, and I will ask for your mailing address at that time. If you give it to me, I will send you an email saying that you had won, and then I will send another follow-up email with the tracking information or the information about when to expect the mug in the mail. If you do get that, and if you are the winner, please send us a photo, and we will get that on our website at VOSRinternational.com. And you can also enter by going over there, clicking on the mail icon, and sending it in that way. Also, next month in October, we are going to have another send out of our postcard QSL cards. This will be the second design. This is the one with me at the microphone. But the first 25 people who respond will get one of those sent out to them, and there'll be more information in the first broadcast in October. Then lastly, this broadcast will only have one broadcast. It will not be a rebroadcast next week, as next week we are going to have another special edition of VOSR International with Mohawk Valley SWL hosting the whole entire show. He's been working on that diligently for the last few weeks, putting it together. But the one thing that I have to hold off on there a little bit is I send him some of the emails that we get, so we can add those to the mailbag segment. So next week, tune in to VOSR International on Saturday at 9455 kilohertz at 0300 UTC, and then also on Saturday at 2300 UTC on 15770 kilohertz. There will be a special edition with Mohawk Valley SWL hosting the entire show. And now, on with the show. And now we'll move over to an equipment segment. And this will be a part 2. This will be from the K180 WLA antenna. And I started out just by giving you first impressions of when I opened up the box and what was included. So this will be an actual, you can hear the radio over the antenna, and I actually compare them. This antenna, the K180 WLA, I compare that to the MLA 30 Plus. So you'll be able to hear both of the radio on each of the antennas, and you'll be able to hear the difference. Now I'll have videos and pictures over on our website at VOSRinternational.com. That's VOSRinternational.com. And then you can also check it out over on my YouTube channel, Wavecrest Guy. I also want to set up the scenario too that I have both of these antennas out on my lanai, and I'll have pictures of that also, so you can check it out. I even have a short video that I'll put a link to. But I tried a bunch of different scenarios with each antenna. It took quite a while to see what came in best, and overall, just laying them out horizontal over the railing worked the best. I've got them right next to each other. They don't interfere. I tried them by themselves, and I tried them there together, and there was no difference. Everything came in the same. So that's how I ended up doing it. Just so you know, so it's set up. It's a head-to-head. Everything is equal. Conditions are the same day. I have the radio here. I'm using my Grundig Satellite 800 Millennium, and then so I play it, and then I'll unplug the one and plug the other one in right away. I ended up using for this test. I ended up using the frequency of 15 to 60 kilohertz. That was China Radio International. So you'll be able to hear that. It was coming in halfway decent. So actually, here it goes. And this is the MLA 30 Plus. Switch it over to the K180 WLA. It's going to take a second for this thing to kick in. There it is. Slightly lower in this meter, but the noise floor is lower. So this is going to switch it back over to the MLA.
中华养生，欢迎各位继续收听。人以五虎为本，天是地次人以五倍。
You can see it's a little higher on the meter, but there's definitely a higher noise floor also. All right, so that's the sample. This one's a little bit harder to tell the difference, and that's why I tried to do different frequencies when I did this. And so this was it was coming in fairly strong. On the MLA 30 plus, it was ranging between 9 and 10 on the meter. So it was doing pretty well, but you can definitely hear more floor noise. When I switched over to the K180 WLA, it went down to, it was varying between 7 and 9, but the noise floor was a lot lower and was a little bit clearer. The difference wasn't as much here as it is when it's on frequencies that aren't coming in as strong. When they're coming in at 7 on the MLA 30 plus, they'll come in like between 5 and 6 on the K180 WLA, but they definitely sounded much clearer and were much easier to make out. I was wondering how that was going to work for when I'm just turning the dial, which one would be better. And right now I'm giving the edge to the K180 WLA. It has worked out really well. Again, I've got some more videos on this that I'll have a playlist link on VOSRInternational.com. You can go over there, click on the playlist, and I'll probably finish out with about 10 videos on this one. The one feature that the K180 WLA has that the MLA 30 doesn't, it has a switch for FM also. So you can use it for FM reception, and I'm going to have a video about that also. The only thing about that switch is that it's at the antenna, and you have to remove 4 screws to get to that switch. And then, of course, that's where the seal is to keep it watertight. So it's not convenient for sure. It would have been much better if they would have had access to the switch from the outside, put it through the wall of the box. But then, of course, you probably might be harder to keep it watertight, I'm sure is what they were thinking. So it's not going to be easy to take that on and off and get out there and flip it over to FM if that's one of the reasons why you're thinking of grabbing this antenna. Still definitely doable. It's just not very convenient at all. Then also the other thing I wanted to mention with this antenna that I didn't notice right away, and it did not mention it in the instructions for the K180 WLA, was about the battery. It never said that it wasn't included. When I plugged in the recharge, it said it's a USB recharger. You plug it in, and then you plug it into the box, and then when you turn it on, if the green light comes on, then it is fully charged and ready to go. Well, that's what I did, and the green light came on, so I thought I was ready to go. I just wanted to make sure I was good to go for the night. And when I went later on that day, I turned it off, and I thought I was ready. When I went back over and I unplugged it, flipped it onto the on position, and then got nothing. So I ended up having to go get one of those batteries, and I had to wait a day, of course, to start recording. The battery is a 3.7 volt. It's the 18650 model battery, and it wasn't easy to get at the battery. It doesn't have a battery compartment. You have to remove 4 screws. And this is the box that stays close to the radio, so you're just plugging the antenna in, so you don't have to worry about it being watertight. But it's not very convenient to change that battery. And hopefully you won't have to worry about it because it is rechargeable. I did look in there. There's no RF gain or any other type of adjustments inside of the box. Again, I'll put a picture of the inside on VOSRInternational.com. So when I live on Molokai, small town. There's only one small town here that has any stores, Kaunakakai. And I went into one of the two hardware stores. They didn't have the battery. Went into the other one. Luckily, I got the last one on the island. So I was really happy about that. And it wasn't too bad for a price. It was like $12. But when I came back home and went to install it, it wasn't going in. It was extremely tight. And the battery box, where it snaps in, fits inside the main outside box, and the outside box has very stiff walls on it. And it being tight, those outside walls weren't forgiving and weren't giving out a little bit to let the battery snap in. Now, on this battery, I did get the one with the button top, and that probably makes a big difference. I didn't have the option, of course, to get the flat top. They just didn't have it here. So I ended up taking a pair of pliers and putting them on the extended jaw there, and I was able to snap it in. I didn't have to give it much force. It ended out snapping in, so there's no damage to the battery. You definitely want to be careful of that. But I ended up getting it in, and even the side with the button, the other side, in the battery compartment, there's a little wing there that kind of holds the battery in. That made it extremely tight, even on that side, to get down and get seated. So again, it wasn't a huge deal, but if you get one of these, you probably want to get one of the flat type top batteries. Would probably work best. All right, so we're going to conclude this segment here. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Did you think the MLA 30 Plus did fine, or was the K180WLA the winner of this? Leave me a message. Do you have one of these? Do you have a K180 WLA? And did you happen to have a MLA 30 Plus to put it together and see which one you like best? Yeah, let me know. Send me an email at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. In the subject line, just put in K180WLA. That way I can separate the emails, and I'll read those off during the mailbag.
And also, I forgot to mention that I will be having the playlist for the videos that I had done on the K180 WLA antenna on our website at VOSRinternational.com. So you can just go over there. I'll have a update page all set up, and it'll have the videos there where you can just click on. You'll be able to hear them a little bit better in the video than over the radio. They'll be able to help you see the differences between the two antennas. You can also go over to my YouTube channel, Wavecrest Guy, and go ahead and click on the playlist that I have there, and you'll see the playlist for the K180 WLA antenna. I do have a couple others antennas there also, and I'm going over those later on in future broadcasts here on VOSR International. And now another segment of On This Day in Shortwave Radio History. On September 1st, 1939, shortwave radio played a pivotal role in reporting the outbreak of World War II with Germany's invasion of Poland. British broadcasting adapts. On the evening of September 1st, the BBC began closing down its normal national and regional programs to prepare for wartime broadcasting. Also, the end of a shortwave magazine. The British publication Shortwave Magazine ceased its second run with its September issue due to the start of the war in 1939. September 1st, 1969, Radio Mexico International is launched. The Mexican government-run shortwave service XERMX-OC began broadcasting on this day. The station was created to broadcast to a global audience. 1941, the NBC Pan-American Network is announced. NBC completed its Pan-American Network on September 2nd, 1941, allowing 92 stations in Latin America to rebroadcast programs transmitted by NBC's international shortwave stations, WRCA and WNBI. This was an important step in shaping the United States' international broadcasting efforts during World War II. 1963, Radio Nikkei 2 begins broadcasting. The Japanese shortwave commercial station Radio Nikkei expanded its service on September 2, 1963, when its second channel, Radio Nikkei 2, started broadcasting. The station remains on the air today. September 2, 1939, Britain declares war. At 11:15 a.m. local time, British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain announced over the BBC that Britain was at war with Germany. September 2, 1939, Britain declares war. At 11:15 a.m. local time, British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain announced over the BBC that Britain was at war with Germany. This momentous announcement was heard by shortwave listeners from around the world. Later that evening, King George VI also delivered a historic address to the British Empire. War news on shortwave. The start of the war dramatically increased the significance of shortwave radio. For many listeners, particularly those in allied and neutral countries, shortwave became the primary source of news for monitoring international developments and propaganda broadcasts from each nation. September 3, 1933, Radio News issue. The September 1933 issue of Radio News and the Shortwave magazine was published, offered contemporary insights into radio technology and journalism for the time. September 4th, 1930, a city reception in New York for 2 French pilots was carried by 2 coast-to-coast radio networks. It was relayed by associated shortwave transmitters, making the event audible in Paris and other parts of Europe. September 5th, 2024, shortwave station KTWR on Guam celebrated its 40th anniversary of broadcasting Hope to Asia. KTWR is a powerful station run by Trans World Radio that is used to share the Christian gospel throughout Asia. This one is kind of important because they just announced that they will be closing down that transmitter. They will still be broadcasting through other sources on shortwave, though. September 6th, 2017, a powerful X 9.3 class solar flare erupted from the sun. It caused a strong and widespread radio blackout across the sunlit side of the Earth, including the Caribbean region. The event severely impacted shortwave radio communications, which are a vital part of the relief efforts for the victims of the Hurricane Irma at the time. September 7th, 1937, the monthly issue of Shortwave and Television magazine was published. The magazine, which evolved from the earlier shortwave craft, covered technical aspects of shortwave radio as well as the emerging field of television. September 8th, 1998, WBCQ, a commercial shortwave radio station in Monticello, Maine, began broadcasting on 7415 kHz. The station was founded by shortwave enthusiast Alan Wiener and a former pirate radio broadcaster. WBCQ has since become known for its diverse programming, which features talk shows from commercial networks alongside of independent and former pirate radio broadcasters. An extremely rare recording of broadcast from Voice of Biafra was made on September 8, 1969. This is considered a valuable audio time capsule for shortwave radio historians. The broadcast occurred during the final stages of the Nigerian Civil War when the secessionist state of Biafra was nearing its collapse. September 8, 2024, the historic Nauen radio station in Germany conducted a special shortwave broadcast to celebrate 100 years of broadcasting in the country. The event featured a 2-hour live radio show on 6045 kHz and was attended by on-site shortwave fans and heard by listeners across Europe. The Nauen station is recognized as one of the oldest operational radio stations in the world. The 5-day existence of DXCR. September 11, 1975, a shortwave listener discovered a loud, short-lived broadcast on 2654 kHz, a frequency in the 120-meter band. The station identified itself as DXCR and broadcast big band music. The broadcast turned out to be a second harmonic and unintended frequency transmission of a Philippine religious station. After being on the air for just 5 days, the accidental broadcast ceased, making DXCR one of the shortest-lived shortwave radio stations ever. September 11, 2001, The September 11th attacks represent one of the most critical moments for our shortwave and amateur radio in modern history. With cellular networks overwhelmed and some television transmitters disabled, radio became a vital source of information. Major international shortwave broadcasters like Radio Canada International and the BBC World Service became important sources of international news coverage. RCI continued broadcasting to listeners in North America with up-to-date information. September 12, 1978, Radio Netherlands announced the preemption of its DX program, DX Jukebox, due to the unexpected death of Pope John Paul I. The Pope's death was a significant news event. International shortwave broadcasters widely carried the announcement. And that concludes our edition of On This Day in Shortwave Radio History. Let us know what you think. Send us an email at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. Or head over to our website at VOSRinternational.com, and you can click on the mail icon and contact us that way. Let us know if you remember any of these pieces of history or these dates if you were listening to shortwave at that time. Now we're going to move on to a radio segment. Haven't had one of these for a little bit, and a few months ago I got in a XH Data D328. It's a nice little compact radio, AM/FM shortwave, and I can't help but compare this to the Redicus V115. The price point is pretty much the same, within $1 or $2, depending on when you buy it and where you buy it. Right now on Amazon, this is going for $16.98 US. And it also has a coupon right now, so it is down to $15.28. So a pretty good deal. And it does have quite a few of the same features of that Redicus V115. It has the ability to record. It does have that TF slot, so you can put a TF card in there and record right from the radio, use it as a personal recorder. Now, again, I didn't have a card to slip in here to try that feature. It's not something that I'm really totally interested in, but I know there's a lot of people that would really like that feature because it will come in handy. Most of my listening is done at the desk here, but I also do have my C Crane that I do take when I'm on trips and use that mobily when I'm outside. So that one does not have that record feature and is quite a bit more expensive. So let's just go into first impressions in opening it up. XH Data does a pretty good job with their packaging. It does have a nice box compared to some of the lower end radios that you buy. Will just come in a plain brown cardboard box. This one does have some graphics on it. It's got the XH Data. It's got a picture of the radio. It does tell of its features. That it is a DSP, digital signal processing, MP3 player, FM, AM, shortwave 12 band, and it does have a headphone jack, and it's got USB, and it does come with the 3.7 lithium-ion battery. That is the BL-C5. So, again, all ready to go as soon as you get it. A lot of people do like having the running on just regular AAA batteries or AA batteries, and that does have its advantages also. But nowadays, with a lot of chargers around, battery-operated chargers that you can get, or using your phone as a charger, it's easy to be able to charge these batteries up or these radios from those chargers. So even in an emergency situation, the rechargeable batteries do work out pretty well. And of course, if you've got a small solar charger, you can recharge that way. So I think a very good feature, although some people are going to prefer having the disposable batteries. And then so after opening up with the packaging, it does come with a small USB cable for the charging, and then of course the battery. It does have a lanyard that hooks up to the radio, so you can put it around your wrist for carrying. This is about as big as a deck of cards. It might be slightly thicker. And at first looks, I have to say, because it has really, really shiny plastic, it does come off as cheap looking. As you hold it, though, you can tell that the quality is pretty good. I don't know how it will take a drop on a really hard surface. On a surface like a hardwood floor, or manufactured hardwood floor, it might be able to survive that. But anything else, it's probably going to be pretty tough. And of course, that holds true for most radios. But some of them, the plastic isn't as brittle, and it does hold up a little bit better to a drop. On the back, it does have the little flip up that you can use to tilt the radio back. So if you're sitting at a table, you can have that at the correct angle so you can see everything and use all the controls. And this one's actually pretty sturdy. It's got a nice solid hinge to it, and I haven't had any issues with that. So usually on these type of radios, that's one of the first things to break. You either forget about it, or you drop it, or you hit it against something. So it's just something to keep in mind. Now the antenna, I'm going to compare this one a little bit to the Redicus V115. The antenna on this one is pretty nice, and it does have a click-in-place holder behind the controls up on the top. The only thing I did not like about it is that the mount is set down a little bit towards the back of the radio, and when you adjust it to try to have it come forward, say you have it tilted back using that little stand feature, it does not come anywhere close to being straight up because it hits the back of the radio. The Redicus had that also, but it was not near as bad as this one. So if you have this set back, it's more of a 45-degree angle going out instead of 90 degrees being up. My C crane doesn't have that issue. It can be straight up. As a matter of fact, I think it even tilts a little bit more even towards me if I need to. So you are getting a little bit limited there with that telescopic antenna in that position. And again, that's not always going to matter. It's portable. You can move it. But it is just something I wanted to bring up. Also, this one, the controls, compared to the Redicus, which has a digital display, this is all analog. So this is the display on it breaks up the shortwave from 1 through 9, and the dial reflects that. So you have a pretty large dial that goes from SW1 through SW9 with the numbers going across for each way they have it split up there. And then on the bottom there is a lever so you can switch between AM, FM, and the 9 shortwave bands. So there's a slide there that you move over to which one you want, and then you would look at the dial. Say you want shortwave 5. That's pretty much right in the middle of the dial. So then you would be able to adjust and watch that way to see what station you might be on. This one does have a tuning knob. It does not have the digital up and down buttons like the Redicus. Myself, I do prefer having the tuning knob. I had mentioned that on the Redicus that I thought that was something that to me, I'm just more used to having the knob than just going up and down with those buttons. I don't know how the buttons will last after time too, and of course these tuning knobs can wear out. This one is nice and stiff, and it is very responsive. And then you get a little bit of a feel with a tuning knob too when you're trying to bring stations in. Just something I prefer, and the same thing with the volume. The volume has a wheel also. Which I definitely like quite a bit better than having the buttons going up and down. So definitely a feature that I like. Now, one thing that's somewhat of a negative, one thing that this radio does not have is a external antenna jack. I definitely prefer those. You just get a better connection most of the time. But again, this fits right along the same as the Redicus V115, which did not have that feature also. So they kind of run neck and neck there. And the biggest difference here between the two are probably the difference in the type of plastic used, and one being a digital display with buttons instead of a turning wheel, and this one, the XH Data D328, is analog. So again, it's going to be a preference there for what you prefer. Not having that external antenna jack, of course, is going to limit you to going ahead and clipping and using an alligator clip to clip an antenna onto your telescopic antenna that's included. So not as big a deal. Everybody's been using those for decades, and they do work fine. Just a little bit more cumbersome. But keep that in mind. There's not a dedicated external antenna jack. Now, in testing this radio out for AM and FM, I find it, being here in Hawaii, it's a little bit difficult to do a comparison because of the way the radio stations are spaced here. I live on the small island of Molokai. There are no radio stations here. The closest we have is on Maui, which is about 20 miles away. And, so it does vary. But as far as drawing in, farther signals and things like that, being out here, I don't get them near as much as you would on the mainland, or being somewhere where you're closer to a lot of radio stations. So, but all in all, on AM and FM, this XH Data D328 held its own and did as good as the Redicus V115. So it did pretty good. I did a video using the Texan AM antenna, and I have that on my YouTube channel, Wavecrest Guy. I will have a link over on our VOSRinternational.com website, so you can go over there and check that out also. And I have a playlist where I put together videos with this XH Data. And I have it on shortwave, a few different stations, and which stations that, I had some stations that were coming in very strong. Some were coming in strong with the telescopic antenna. Some were coming in fair with the telescopic antenna, and then I clipped on another antenna. So I kind of put it through its paces. So there's 6 videos in that playlist. Again, I'll have that link over on our website at VOSRinternational.com, or you can go over to my YouTube channel at Wavecrest Guy and check them out that way. So I'm going to play a clip now, and it is going to show the difference between the XH Data D328 and the Redicus V115. So on this clip, this is just the telescopic antenna, and I was using Radio New Zealand on 9700 kilohertz.
This is just with the telescopic antenna. Alright, so I'm going to, let me turn that off, and I will bring the Redicus into the picture here, and we will turn that on. And again, this is just with the telescopic antenna.
So I don't know how well that clip is going to come across, depending on the propagation tonight. But on that, the Redicus V115 had better sound. The signal strength and the signal coming in were about the same, maybe a slight edge to the Reticus, but the XH data D328, it was a little bit more susceptible to RFI also on some other stations. It didn't show up as much on this one. So that was one thing that I did notice. So hopefully that clip helps out a little bit, and you can hear the difference between the two. So let's close this out. What do I think of this XH data D328? And I can't help but compare it to the Reticus V115. The main thing for me, I think it's going to be personal preference on your controls. I prefer the controls on this XH data D328. Although it does have the analog display, so you can't tell exactly which frequency you're on all the time. If you listen to a lot of shortwave radio and you know where some of the stations are, and you can tell by the what's on, it's not that big of a deal. As far as a serious DXing machine, I wouldn't put any of those two in that category. I really think that these are good radios to get started, to get starting to find some programming that you like, and that type of thing, and do some experimenting and experiment with antennas. I think they're great for that, especially at this price point. You really can't go wrong. So all in all, I really do like the XH Data D328, and the tuning wheel is one of the major factors for me, along with the wheel for the volume. Again, if I had the other one where the Reticus V115, I'm sure I would get used to hitting the buttons all the time. The one thing that I do like about my C Crane is that it has both. My Skywave SSB2 has a tuning wheel, it has the buttons, it has a volume wheel, and I can switch the volume by the buttons also. So that's kind of the best of both worlds, but I definitely, on that C Crane Skywave, I am using the wheels much more. Again, just a personal preference. But as far as things come in, they both do a good job. They're both definitely serviceable. They're cheap enough to have in a bag, have in your car, throw them in a suitcase or a carry-on, so you can listen to the radio while you're away. So I definitely would recommend them. So go ahead and check out these out on on wherever you buy radios. But Amazon right now had them with a coupon at this time. And again, this is late August here. I don't know how long the coupon lasts for, but the total right now is $15.28 with that coupon. So I think a pretty good value. All right, let me know what you think. Do you have one of these XH Data D328s? Were you thinking about getting one? Send us an email at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. And let us know if you got one, or if you use one, or you know somebody that uses one, and we'll get those read on the air, and we'll get some more opinions out there. And don't forget to check our website. I will have the links to those videos so you can check them out. And we are at VOSRInternational.com. Go over there. I will have an updated page with the links to my YouTube channel, Wavecrest Guy. And there's a playlist there with videos on this XH Data D328. And be listening, because next month, I believe I am going to have another radio giveaway, and I will be giving away this XH Data D328. And so you can go over there and check out the videos. You will get the actual radio in the videos. And again, it's a really nice radio to have around. I'm sure everyone would enjoy it. And now onto the mailbag. The first one is from E.A. Frizzle, regular listener who was listening on 9455 kilohertz, and they report a SINPO of 45454, and then occasionally it drifted into 34333, and 44344 was the average. Best signal was from low G, but higher noise on it than on the MLA 30 tonight. Occasional static swells were noticeable on both the vertical and horizontal polarization, and much better conditions here tonight than last week. And this is really good information for me to keep in mind as these go out, so I can see how far the signal is reaching everyone. And they were listening on a Ratty RF919, bringing in great audio, very impressive here at home. And wanted to run through it. He wanted to run through its paces while they were camping somewhere. A pair of 18650s gives me 26 to 27 hours of continuous operation. That's really good. Thanks again for the shout out from the last broadcast. And Mohawk Valley SWL did a great job as host. Thank you very much, E. Frezzo, for continuing to be a regular listener. Then we have another regular listener, John, from Coyote Hill Ranch in Arizona, and he usually picks up our broadcast from Okeechobee, Florida, really well out there. He is listening on 9455 kilohertz, and he reports an SINPO of 45544 using a Texan PL880 with a built-in rod antenna. Next, we have Daryl. And he was reporting a good signal with just a telescoping antenna outside of Portland, Oregon. Next, we have new listener, Microwave Mick. And he just sent us his first reception report here. And he said he was glad to find the show. And he is a shortwave radio fanatic from way back. Anyways, he was hearing the program on 15770 kilohertz with a Radio Shack DX390 on a long wire from Bartlesville, Oklahoma. And he thinks it's really good that everybody is still into HF, and he's been into it since a classmate turned him onto it almost 50 years ago. He has many HF receivers to tune in, but he really likes his C. Crane SSB and his Kenwood rig to tune around with. I'm glad you found the show, Mick, and hopefully you'll become a regular listener, and we'll hear from you again. That's all I have for the mailbag for this broadcast. Last week, WRMI had some internet connection problems, and their programming is all goes through the internet. So they had some problems with AT&T, and our broadcast for September 6th, 9455 kilohertz, did not get sent out. Their programming was all mixed up for quite a few hours. But they ended up getting it fixed, of course. And our broadcast on Saturday at 2300 UTC on 15770 kilohertz, that one did go out. But our one from Saturday that goes all the way across the United States up into Canada and actually from Florida heading west. That one did not go out. So that really limited our mailbag emails and our communications. I did get quite a few, of course, that came in wondering where the show was, but that's what the issue was. So continue to send your emails in at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. Put in a reception report. I'll send you out an EQSL, and you can also go over to our website at VOSRInternational.com. There's a mail link there that you can click on and send us a message that way also. And now we're going to move on to a radio segment. And this one is one that I've wanted to do for quite a while now. It is going to be on the Grundig Satellite 800 Millennium. I have one of these radios, and it is my favorite radio, the one that I go to all the time. And I really enjoy using this radio. I'm probably going to do this in a couple parts. I'll talk a little bit about my reasoning for trying to pick up one, and also a little bit of the history of the design and everything that went into this radio, because it does have a pretty interesting history. So first off, for me, I had my C. Crane SSB2, the Skywave, as my portable. And then I learned, I had said this before, I had learned that as a regular home radio, I wanted something a little bit bigger, something easier to operate.
while I'm sitting at home or sitting at my radio desk. So then I ended up picking up the Radio Shack DX394, and that is again the size of a scanner, and it's a really nice radio. I really like the radio. I always liked those and kind of wanted one back when they came out in the 90s. As I was using it, the more I was using it, I still had some issues with the controls on it. It's got the 4 knobs on it on the left side, and they're kind of close together. They're a little awkward to use. The dial is really nice. The tuning dial is okay, but then the regular other buttons have so many multi-functions, and they're so close together. It didn't make it very easy to use. And even the top buttons, when you're doing the time and your memory sets, it's a little bit difficult to be able to use comfortably. Anyways, still like the radio. It's a nice radio, but I wanted something a little bit bigger and be a little more comfortable in using. So, I'm really nostalgic, and I really like a lot of the older big radios. One of these years, I'm going to pick up a Zenith Transoceanic. I really love those radios. But then again, getting them here to Hawaii, they're with the tubes and everything, they're somewhat delicate, and I'm not one to be able to get in there and fix anything like that if there's any major problems. And then, getting anything here on Molokai is always a problem. So, but one of these times I am going to go ahead and get one of those. I may get one of the transistor Zenith Transoceanics also, like the 3000. So one of these times that's going to happen. But I started looking at these Grundigs. And I was looking at the Grundig 750, and then I came across the 800. And the more I looked into it, and yes, first off, it is big. It's a big radio. I'm going to have, I actually already do have a picture of this on the VOSRinternational.com website, right at the very top. As there's about 3 or 4 pictures there that scroll by at the top of the screen, and my Grundig is on there. So it is a really big radio. Does it have to be that big? Probably not. But honestly, I feel that is one of the biggest positive features of this radio, and it just makes it so comfortable to use. I just have a small radio desk here in my condo, and it's just a pleasure to use this radio. Everything is right there. There are only a couple multifunction buttons on this. So you're not having to, hit the button 3 times to get to the function you need and then type in it with the other buttons. It's really straightforward and intuitive to use. Looking at it right now, the only multifunction buttons on here are the bandwidth. You hit the same button to go change from 2.3 to 4.0 to 6.0. And then those show up on the screen when you hit them. And then the other multifunction button is the SSB, the single sideband. You hit it once for upper sideband and another time for lower sideband. And again, that shows up on the screen. And then the band, what band you're on. So you change the same button. You can change from air, FM, shortwave to AM. And again, that shows up on the screen. All the rest of the buttons are just single-use buttons. And which makes it much easier to use. And the buttons are in a place that is, I'm a big guy. I have fat fingers, and getting in there to hit some of these small buttons makes it a little bit difficult. So with this one, they're spaced well. It's easy to be able to use. And again, easy to read. I'm getting up there too. I'll be 62 here in June. And, just seeing what's written on some of these other radios, it can be a chore. But with this one, it's written right on there what the button is. You can see it plain enough. It's easy, and it really is a joy to operate. I can't really say any more about how much of a joy this is to operate and just sit here and turn the dial. It literally went from listening to an hour or so a night on the radio, unless of course I was listening to a program that I always try to frequent. Just turning the radio and trying to find new stations, new broadcasts, just in general DXing. I can do it for hours at this radio. I've sat 6 hours, turning the dial here and listening to far off broadcasts, and it really is a joy. It really has helped me expand my log because I'm able to find so many more really faint stations, and and being able to log those. And again, it's a good operating radio too. It picks up stations very well. The speaker on it is excellent. I listen in headphones most of the time because a lot of times I'm listening at night and I'm in a small condo, so I try to keep the noise down. And also, when I'm DXing, I'm trying to hear the faint broadcast out there, so the headphones really help that. But when you're playing music or just in general listening to a talk show or something, the speaker on this is excellent, far and away better than the small tinny speaker of the Crane, which is pretty good for as small of a radio that is. And then the speaker in the Radio Shack. And again, I can upgrade the Radio Shack one, and I even hear there's actually an upgrade for the Grundig one also. So I can do that too, but it's not needed. This has got a really good speaker in it, and it's by far the best that I've heard.
So that is going to be the end of part 1 of the Grundig Satellite 800 Millennium series. And the next broadcast, I will have a second part where I'll talk about getting into the features of the radio and then maybe even some history. So let me know what you think. Do you have a Grundig Satellite 800 Millennium? Is it a radio you're looking to get? It is kind of difficult to get sometimes. But let me know. Send us an email at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com, or head over to our website at VOSRinternational.com. There's a mail icon there you can click and leave us a message that way.
And that concludes our broadcast. Be sure to catch our broadcasts every Saturday at 0300 UTC on 9455 kilohertz, and also on Saturdays at 2300 UTC on 15770 kilohertz. Transmitted by WRMI, Radio Miami International, from Okeechobee, Florida. Until next time, ahui ho, everyone.